Up, family. What's up, family? Welcome back to an all-new episode of Point of View. We got a lot to unpack for y'all today. But before we get started, we want to welcome our girl Crystal back to the table.
Hey, girl.
Welcome back, girlie. So, coming up, the legal drama between Halle Berry and DDG just took a twist that got us asking, is this postpartum depression or something a little bit deeper? Plus, find out why Halle Berry turned down a proposal from Van Hunt. And then later, we're bringing you Style Check and Unpopular Opinion, which you don't want to miss any of this, y'all. So stay tuned, join the discussion. And if you're watching us live via social media, drop down in our comments so we can hear from you, okay? You watching POV. Okay, now what started as a typical celebrity breakup has turned into something so much deeper. Leaked text messages from DDG suggest Halle Berry may have been battling serious mental health issues, mentioning self-harm, a gun in the house, and even leaving their baby alone in the car. Now, the internet's rethinking everything. Was this postpartum depression, or were we just too quick to label DDG as the villain?
Where y'all at with it?
No, he's probably the villain.
I still feel like it.
Yeah, he's probably the villain.
Yes.
But I can say divorce is hard. And divorce takes a toll on you. And it can really make you feel like, can I do one more day of this? This whole fight, trying to get this thing rectified so we can move on with our lives, it really takes a toll.
They wasn't married.
Yeah, but still, they had a baby together and they were sleeping together. There was still some spiritual marriage going on there.
Okay, thank you.
I think I'm going to be the bad guy here.
Okay.
I think that they're painting him to be the villain, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But I already felt like something wasn't right with her.
Really?
I've always felt
What do you
that
feel
way.
like it is?
I can see in her. It's
Do you
a thing
feel like
that
it's postpartum depression?
I do, and I do feel like it. You can see it in her eyes.
Really?
You can see it in a woman's eyes.
Can we zoom in on Halle Berry's
She
eyes?
just like she's not here.
Like
you're hiding your emotions.
Halle, she
Really?
looked like she probably was maybe really a siren or something. That's why they picked her to be the Little Mermaid. She personified
The
that
Ariel.
professionally.
they were going through a divorce. Oh, because they in court. That's what it was.
What I will say though,
why
I still judge DDG low key. Who are we to judge? But if I was judging, I would judge him because it's like you're a man. Like be dignified. You know, she had your child. She's with the child most of the time. Like, you know, have some grace at the end of the day. You're trying to save your image instead of like the image of your family as a whole. And so I don't really respect that.
Well, I
like
mean, is it
they're
really
so
judgment
young.
if he's really not doing the right things? I mean, is it judgment or is it just calling out the fact that he's just not doing
We're
it?
so quick to judge the man when
Exactly.
we don't know what she's done to him
Oh,
to
stop.
provoke. We don't know.
No, we don't.
We're not in that
don't.
house. We don't
Oh,
know.
that woman didn't do anything to him.
Oh, please.
I think
we
we're
don't
all
know that.
falling into the realm of, and as women, let's be honest, a woman scorned is a beast.
Okay.
Okay?
But she had to be scorned by somebody.
Right, but sometimes we have to take accountability for our own foolishness.
Hello.
You know what? I
Hello.
think even more than that, I feel like the biggest issue in so many relationships is that we just don't have any grace for realizing when someone is no longer your person. Like we will kill each other. Like if you're not my person, move on, free them up and free yourself for who God has created you for.
But it's easy to say. It's easy to say, but actually putting it in works, that's a different story.
For sure.
For sure. I agree,
sure.
baby boy.
And it takes work. And
If
it
it's
takes
over,
that
baby,
time.
I got to go. I'm not playing with you. So is the drama between DDG and Halle toxic from both sides now that it's unfolding in court?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think so
probably,
too.
yes.
That's why I'm saying, like, you never know. Like, as quick as we are to paint the man as the villain, like, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Not even just that. He's painting her as a villain because he, you know, released text messages of her calling him a dirty D, which if anybody has ever been in a relationship and you've said that about someone, you know you were fed up and they cheated on you and you're like, you're filthy, you're trash. Like, Who ain't called somebody? I mean, I haven't had to say it, but I know plenty of people that call somebody a dirty D.
But what I don't like is, yes, he did drop the text messages and he did expose her or whatever the situation is. But I don't like when people play with suicide. I don't like when people throw suicide at you and automatically think that you're supposed to just fall to your knees and just like bow to them. You know, like she literally said that she wanted to kill herself. And I don't know if that's ever happened to y'all, but that is so traumatizing for your partner or somebody that you love to tell you that they want to take their own life
but you
because
do know that
of whatever the situation is.
That's the tendency of a narcissist, and we always want to put it as men, but there are a lot of women narcissists out there, and that is cohort narcissist number one.
Okay, but on the flip side, have you ever been in a friendship or relationship where you got to the point where you felt like, what more does this person want from me? Like, do they just want me dead? Like, I mean, is she the only one that felt that?
No.
She should have walked away on her own.
I've never been there.
Y'all probably
but I have been in a
watch
situation.
Little Shop of Horrors.
We all
back
have
in the
to
day,
learn.
I
have seen that.
Okay, and when he said, "What do you want from me?"
We all have to learn how to walk away. We all have to learn. You know, that comes with maturity. That comes with growth that we do that. I mean, at this age, you know, she's going through this whole battle. It's public. I mean, I can understand the stress that she could possibly be going through. She's dealing with someone that perhaps she really loved. That's not working. He's over here doing whatever. She has the baby. He's not coming for the baby. There's so much stress. It's the breakup. It's a lot of stress. And I don't think anybody that's gone through a breakup can really say that they haven't been stressed out to the max. Like
after
you
the
say,
fact that they
what else?
cared about them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you know what the worst thing is? When you're going through this stress with somebody and then your baby look just like them.
Reminder.
What else? DDG and Halle Bailey. Baby, we wish you the best, but we got to move on to our next story, okay? Now, speaking of Halle Berry, okay, just proves she's still making her own rules when it comes to love. After 5 years together, Van Hunt finally popped the question, but she has yet to say yes. Holly says she doesn't need a ring to validate their love, especially after 3 past marriages. Go ahead, girl. But don't worry. She says a wedding is coming very soon because Van is the one. Oh. Is it possible to be madly in love without rushing to the altar?
When you have a business to protect, absolutely.
Oh, only when you have a business to
That's
protect?
a piece. That's a piece of it.
Okay.
But let's be quite honest. Like, there's a bigger picture here. It's not just, we're not in a rush. No. You know better. You've had 3 failed marriages, and I'm more than certain the first thing they came after was what? Not your looks.
We see how much money she was paying her last baby's father.
Let's use Mary J as the typical example. No. Protect your assets. Protect you first.
Yeah.
Put the marriage second. But y'all are already together, so I don't see
But
what
I
the
imagine
biggest
she
thing
has
is.
already had her stuff, her finances or whatever, her assets protected. I mean, she's been doing this a long time.
If there's much left to protect after all those failed marriages.
I think she has a lot to protect. She does.
So
I think maybe there's also some hesitation.
She's a pretty
After
good
3
businesswoman.
failed marriages, how many times you want to do this again and again?
That's probably the
traumatic.
hesitation.
I mean, I guess until she get it right. Hey.
She's the marrying kind.
Okay.
I'm done.
Hey.
Baby, we can do it. Take your time. Do it right. We can do it, baby.
I can't.
Okay. Can love really be measured by a ring or a wedding?
No, because some people get married for a wedding.
I don't want no
because
small wedding, baby.
Yeah, no, I don't
telling you right
think it
now.
can, but I'm hoping for Halle and Van's sake that, you know, he is the one. But I can imagine the reservations that she has because I'm sure in each of her marriages, she got to that point where she felt like, this is the one.
Yeah.
This is the love that, you know, is going to last me a lifetime plus some. So I hope that this is really it. I mean, it seems very genuine, but we see, you know, what happened with J-Lo and so many others that, you know, have had failed marriages and they wait it out and they think, hey, this is my soulmate, and then that doesn't work either. So,
Do you think that maybe it's that person for that time and then not anymore?
I believe in love.
Even in marriage?
I believe in love versus
I think
love.
you can. Yeah, I think you can absolutely fall out of love with someone as you get to know them.
Yeah.
And then you can realize that that's no longer your partner as you grow.
Even in the marriage.
Even in the marriage.
and then I'm a little bit.
People are ever evolving.
Right.
Yeah. I'm a little bit conflicted too because as I try to grow in my Bible studies, I came across a scripture recently and a sermon that kind of, you know, took me back to that scripture that was talking about, like, if you're married and then you get a divorce and then you try to marry again before your spouse has passed, then, like, God doesn't, like, honor that marriage, you know? And so, I mean, I'm really trying to unpack it and have, you know, God give me the real revelation on that. But, you know, who's to know, God forbid, I mean, I don't fully understand it yet, but who's to know if this is why all these other marriages ain't working, because you weren't supposed to get married after that first one ain't dead yet. Now, I ain't saying kill them, but, you know, don't do that. Don't do that.
And so we move on.
I ain't say kill nobody. I just was saying what the Bible say.
Have
so
your
what
relationship with the Lord, honey.
So according to Holly, she's making her own rules. So what do y'all feel like that looks like to you? Like
What
making
makes
your
her
own
happy?
rules in love? I think so.
Putting herself first for the
Yeah.
first time ever. She probably has done it 3 times.
She's probably followed other people's
Correct.
rules of love, and now she's doing
Listening
it
to,
her
oh,
way.
well, you know, my mom, my grandma, you know, my aunt said, the books say.
How they probably did it.
Right, and now you're like, I'm just going to do what I want to do. I've done this 3 times a different way. Let me do it my way and see if that works for me.
I just want to know, when we do it our way and make our own rules, where does that look like heaven? Does it look like hell? Are we creating it in between?
But how would
Maybe
you
it's
know?
situational.
Well, think about now
you know?
in your own life.
I'm not
What does
trying
it
to
look
find
like?
out. Yeah, I would try to get to heaven, but that's just me. I'm not perfect. I'm just saying that's what I want to do, and I think about that because
Well, Halle
so
Berry,
many things now people think they can do
we
on
wish
their
you-
own will.
we wish you the best, and Tally does too, but we have to take a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere, because if you're into designer brands, we're breaking down some of the most unusual and pricey drops out there. Style Check is up next, so stay tuned. You're watching POV.
Hello, social media family, welcome. Well, look, we have a question for you today. Is it smart or too intrusive to ask someone about their finances when getting into a new relationship? What do you think?
I feel like it's important to know finances, of course, but I also feel like there's a time and a place. Like on the first date, like I've heard some of my friends say, like, no, like on like the second date, like I need to know like exactly how much you make annually. And I'm just
wow.
do you even know his middle name?
Right,
Or his
exactly.
last name?
Right.
Exactly.
Before you just jump, girl, how much do you make annually? Before
Right.
you sitting here asking this grown man how much he make, and I'm sure he's paying for the date.
Wow.
Listen.
Shouldn't we get to know a person first?
No. That's how you get to know him. You ask him about the money.
So
Okay?
what about him asking you about your money?
I remember back in the
You asked me
day.
about my money.
No, no,
Then
You
you
put
offended if he
stipulations
asked you
on
about
him.
your
Now
money.
listen, no.
It can
9
have a
times
certain
out of
price
10,
point.
these men are strategic, and when they seek us out, they already know what we got going on. They know we ain't broke anyway. That's why they even trying to date us and court us and interfere in our life, first of all. But what I used to do back in the day, my little hot girl days now, the first thing I did, I had a bunch of older friends, and they let me know on that the first day, y'all might go somewhere, when he get your number, that night you text him and you say, baby, if you want to call me tomorrow, my phone about to be off.
No,
Hey,
no,
yeah.
no. You gonna have your
That way,
kids somewhere.
if he don't want to spend no money on you, you're out of there before you
No.
realize that you're dating a
It's not
crab.
that fast. It
Oh my
shouldn't be that
gosh.
fast, and it
Shouldn't
shouldn't
we
be that
know
expectation
someone?
that
This
fast.
was
At
back in
least
the
get to
day.
know the person's
Honey,
first and last
Exactly.
name.
Because they
third
can have a
date,
lot of
maybe.
money,
What do y'all
but they
think?
could also be a terrible person.
That's why you
Exactly.
want to
Y'all
see
think?
if they have a
Put it
good
down
heart.
in the comments and let us know so we can see what's really
Please,
going on
please
out there.
comment.
We're going back to the show. Thank you.
Welcome back to the show. I really hope y'all be listening to us when we be tearing it up on our little break, because we really be having a key.
Yeah.
But today on Style Check, we're switching things up a bit. When it comes to designer brands and luxury items, just because it's a fancy name doesn't always mean it's fashion forward, you know?
Or quality.
Let's just be honest here. So we're breaking down some of the most unusual designer trends that'll have you asking, would you actually buy this? we're going to go through a few looks and rate them 1 through 10. So let's get into style check.
Let's do it.
All right. So up first, we have Balenciaga barefoot shoes. Ignore the sound, okay? Balenciaga barefoot shoes going for $450. Please pop it.
Do we have a photo?
I need to.
These shoes from Balenciaga, these are called the barefoot shoes, and they are priced at $450. Yes, this is the barefoot Balenciaga shoe, and it is $450.
Now, I'm not going to lie. As many people that are going to say they don't like this is the same sentiments I feel like happened when Yeezys first came out.
Perfect, yes.
For $450, I would be getting a pair, but I do know a lot of people that do not have the toes for that shoe, baby.
I wouldn't pay $4.50.
I wouldn't be giving
for
that designer nothing.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You're right.
First of all,
I gave it a negative 1.9.
Second of all, it's interesting to me that when you make a name and people like celebrities say, oh, the name that whatever, they can literally sell you anything and people will buy it.
But
and
that's innovation. I don't lie. That's innovation.
That's a terrible shoe.
No, honey, that is not innovation.
For $450, baby.
It's a fancy flip flop.
That is not innovation.
I can't get them my money, but somebody give me 2 pairs.
I wouldn't even call that a flip flop.
Don't.
That's why it's going to get a negative.
No, thank you. I hope y'all
Thank
watching
you.
at home. Tell us what y'all think if y'all would pay $450 for that Balenciaga.
Tell me, do you have the toes for it?
That's what she worried about.
Baby,
The
I got
toes.
the toes
Do
and
you
I'm
have it?
still not buying it. At number 2, we have Nike's Dirty Air Force Ones coming in at retail price $130. And yes, they're supposed to look worn.
Well, when you
Let's
said
have a look.
dirty, I was like, is that what they're calling it? Dirty?
Not.
Now, who
Dirty?
Who wore these shoes, right? Who busted through these shoes and then said,
I'm giving
we gonna
it a
sell these for
zero.
$100?
Is this what's happening out here?
I don't
You
have
know
no-
whose
I have
shoes
no
that reminds
rating
me
right
of?
now.
The goose. I call them goosebump shoes. What are they called?
The Converse? Y'all
They
know
have a
people
star on
when
them,
sometimes
and they're
when
worn.
people
They're
wear
ugly.
beat up Converse,
that
I
the
don't
Golden
be mad
Goose?
about it.
Golden Goose. I said goosebumps. Golden Goose. That's what it is.
I love those shoes.
I hate those shoes.
Oh, man.
I don't even know what those shoes
With a
are.
passion. Let me put
about-
some emphasis. I hate those shoes.
That's strong.
Real strong.
I believe you.
Okay.
But I'm not going to
I
lie.
believe you.
I do believe that these dirty little Air Force Ones, they're going to go off the shelf. People going to buy them.
Jordan has a pair somewhat near to this, and people are literally scouring the city for that.
Hate it. Coming in at number 3, Pharrell's Louis Vuitton Doghouse. Priced at a whopping $60,000.
That sounds like foolish.
They must be taking every toenail off the dog, plucking them out one by one, baby. Because
Okay, I'm gonna give it a
I'm saying
4.
we could have made this with some LV paper, honey.
This is foolishness.
I'm gonna give it a 4. It's just
It's a
because
wooden
cute. It's just
doghouse
cute.
with
$60,000.
It's cute.
$60,000.
wouldn't buy it,
I
but
could have
it's
made
cute.
4 billion of those.
This
What?
is ridiculous. And the price tag, this is once again when a
60
brand
I
has
would
made
like
a
to
name
know
for
who's-
itself.
I would like to know who's purchasing that.
And
Funny
celebrities
enough,
have
you
been
two are the dog lovers.
and celebrities have been
I'm a cat
pushing it.
girl.
They can
Okay,
literally
cat.
sell you anything.
Dogs.
Now, what I do want to know is it was the inspiration, the confession chamber? Because
It does look like
it looks
that,
like a
like a
confessional
cathedral.
chamber. You know what I'm saying? You see on the back, on the side with the
does
little
look
mesh
like
now.
that.
Well, it's Louis Vuitton is not Italian, so perhaps.
It's okay.
We have to move on to number
I
4,
would have to
Chanel
win.
ankle bags. Inspired by Lindsay Lohan's ankle monitor. Lord, I am done with this.
I would actually wear
Starting at a whopping almost $1,900, $1,890
You pay for that?
resale.
I would actually wear
Wait,
that.
I would wear that too, girl. Buy me one. You know you rich. Buy me
You'd
one.
wear it, but would you pay for that?
Crystal
I said I would wear it.
Crystal gonna buy for us. She got all the Chanel.
I would not wear
And
it.
it's a great
and I
way to
certainly won't
hide
pay
my
for
ankle
it.
monitor when it's time. So I would definitely wear it.
Now, Chanel know they wrong for using Lindsay Lohan's terrible problem
Well,
as inspiration.
opportunity sees it, so
It's the Miss Delphine heel for me. That look like Miss Delphine shoe, no?
It do.
And I would
In
wear
front,
the.
it do.
I honestly would wear
It
the
do.
heels too, though.
I'm not playing with y'all. Coming in at number 5, Louis Vuitton dumbbells.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I'm done with this.
We just
No,
doing,
for real.
We're just doing anything at this point.
Anything.
Coming in at $3,600.
These are
$3,600. I can get a lifetime membership.
They will literally
I just
sell
want
you
everybody at
anything.
home to know this
I'm gonna
list
give that a
just gets
0.
worse and worse and worse.
These are for the
A 0.
influencers that don't work out in the gym anyway.
Listen,
We have that man who's running around with the water in the bowl and the stuff.
him, ridiculous. Coming in at number 6, we have a Chanel surfboard. Coming in at $10,050.
If I was a professional surfer, I would ask for an endorsement with that board.
Do you know that we
Endorsement,
can
okay.
just
That's
put that
what it's-
on your board?
Right, I have a cricket at home.
We can just, it's
forgot
literally vinyl. We can just put it on your board.
And then what happens when the wave take you under and your board's out at sea?
Well, don't worry about that because
Well,
somebody
it's
grabbed that board up
$10,000
and they got
that's it.
$10,000.
I can't even give a number for this.
Yeah, well, we can't rate
No, I
these.
can.
0. Okay.
0.
I can give it a number.
Yeah, I don't.
Was there anything that y'all would buy?
No,
The ankle
Not so
monitor.
far.
not up there.
Not so far.
And I would take the little
rest of this
barefoot.
list.
And I value my money more than to buy some designer stuff like that anyway.
Yeah,
I don't care
Yeah,
how
I
much
can
I
buy
have.
that board.
You can
put
give
a down
it to me,
payment on a
but I
car
won't be
with
buying
this
it.
money. No,
No.
it's a no for me. So here we are coming in at number 7. Again, Louis Vuitton boxing set at a whopping $175,000
At this point,
Okay.
they're just
for
making
the bougie
stuff.
boxer.
So price,
Does it come with the
Y'all have to
gloves?
get
For the
me up out
foolish
here, okay?
boxer is what
Because
that
I
is.
can't do this.
style.
I cannot take
This is so much
list
foolishness.
serious.
Okay,
Yeah.
for
I'm
price,
stressed
I'm
out,
gonna
y'all.
give it a
Lucky I
0.
don't have a wig to snatch right
For
now.
style, I will actually give it a 10 because it's very creative. I would
Crystal?
give it a 10 for the style, but for the
I like
price,
having
I
you
would
here,
say
sister.
$0.
I like
Who do
having
we
you.
think would have that in their house? Maybe
Floyd Mayweather.
Mayweather? Okay.
Mayweather.
Someone very
You know
tall,
how to
Or
wait
Mike
money.
Tyson.
someone very
Baby
tall
Mike
would
Tyson
have
ain't
that.
wasted $175,000.
I don't know, but
Honestly, I feel like
made
they
on
would
the
give it
last
to them
fight.
for free.
coming in
It's
at
very
number 8,
gaudy.
we have Tiffany and Co.
Oh,
Sterling
I don't
silver
like
tin
this.
can at 1.
Okay, okay.
Let it go. Yeah. We have to move on for your
No.
pencils, pens,
Now
and
I'm
paper
gonna
clips.
just start
The
going
paper
to the
clip
negative.
$1,000.
got me, yeah.
We could make that with an old can of beans.
That's
Yes.
exactly what
And
they
some
did.
spray paint.
Listen, sterling silver though, that old can of beans gonna rust and have rust on a pencil. This one ain't turning.
For
We're gonna make
$1,000,
another one.
you can buy you a nice little sterling silver that you can keep when it gets more in value and use that. That is ridiculous.
Yes.
And I can't believe someone would spend their money to buy such foolishness, but I know somebody is. And that's
There are
the sad
gonna be
part.
They
people
will,
that
but we
buy
gotta move on, y'all. We're gonna switch things up and move on to our final
I'm not
segment.
for
Let's get into
designers.
unpopular opinion.
I'm not for design. Buy it for me.
There you
'cause
go.
I won't-
Okay, so to all the moms out there, you probably know who Miss Rachel is all too well. For those of you who don't, she's a star. She's the star of a super popular YouTube show that helps babies and toddlers with speech and learning. But now some are questioning the impact she's having on kids, saying it might need to be studied. Let's take a look.
Hello. Can you say mama? Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Can you say mama? Mama. Hi. Hello.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a baby. Maybe I'm a baby because when I
You're a baby.
heard Miss Rachel
got
say
happy
hi,
tears?
hello, I was like hi, hi Miss Rachel.
No.
It got me excited. I mean, because she sounds like she's right there, like she knows
Yeah,
you, and
yeah.
she's like hi.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like your child's favorite babysitter.
or mine. That's
Yeah.
what that's what
Or
I
yours. I'm
thought.
done. I'm so done.
No.
You don't like
Rachel?
it?
No.
¿Qué pasó?
And I have a almost 2-year-old, but let me say this. To the
Okay.
point of what we're talking about,
Yes.
There's so many different ones. There's Gracie's Corner. There's her. Everybody
Now,
has
Gracie's
their
Corner,
thing.
she be up there twerking now.
She can't
Like,
hold them
Gracie's
kids'
Corner
attention
does-
like Miss
she
Rachel
She
does
be
a
up
does.
there
lot,
rapping
but-
and twerking. I don't know.
I just feel like it's more voice recognition, and a baby doesn't know any better.
Right.
It's the energy too.
Right,
Right.
the
How they
energy,
say
the-
things. No different
the
from when we walk in a room
frequency.
and you say something, your
Yeah.
child lights up. They're watching this over and over.
Well, this is what they say. There's actually a
frequency is
science to it. Miss Rachel uses evidence-based early childhood education techniques rooted in speech language development and music therapy.
Smart.
Listen, I have a
It sounds like AI for kids.
In a sense.
yeah, but no. I have a baby. He's a toddler now. He don't like when I call him a baby. And he'll be 3 on the 20th.
He's a big man.
Yes, he's a big boy. And he loves Miss Rachel. He's in the phase right now. He's learned so much from her that he's kind of giving her a break because now she's made him aware enough that now he prefers Spider-Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Grown up.
But I will say that, Miss Rachel has really enhanced his learning ability. And I feel like, even with, just thinking about the way that she talks to them, I have a sister, I love my sister so much, she loves the kids, but she doesn't have that energy. And my cousins, they have that energy. And naturally, the kids gravitate to that. Hey! Versus a, stop, sit down.
Yeah.
And that's how most
Yeah.
parents
Yeah.
interact with their kids because we're often frustrated.
Right. Right.
I think it's the key. I think it's also just that energy. It's just all of it together. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Psychology.
apparently we got to go, y'all. That's the end of the show. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time right here only on AFRO TV.